Axum DP. First ride, first trail ride, and first impressions. First impression is right away that I don't like the riding position. I feel like I'm all hunched over. I have to crane my neck to see ahead of me. The leg extension is pretty good, so the cockpit needs to come up. I need a riser stem or something if I'm going to keep these flat bars, but I doubt if I'll keep the flat bars. Let's see what it looks like. It doesn't look too bad. Yeah, the riding position is, I feel like I'm halfway over the bars already. And that's not a good place to be. All right, downshift. All right, let's take it up these roots. Not terrible. There we go. Into low gear. Alright, here we are. Here we are at the top of a little downhill section. Seat post is down. I just want to see how it feels, how it performs. Here we go. Oh, look at here, baby. Wow, good thing I didn't come down that very fast. My goodness. Yeah, tree crossed the trail. Well, enough of that. Pick the bike up and take it over this, because that's not hoppable by any means. Not hoppable. Not unless you had a ramp in front of it. Okay. It just looks like it was rotten and decided to fall. All right, continue. All right, into that. Like I said, that wasn't a very long downhill. All right, I'm gonna take this on another trail here. Let's go around this way. Get that post back up so I can ride. There we go. Yeah, I don't like, I don't know what it just doesn't feel good. I don't know how to explain it other than that. I feel like when my butt's on the seat that I'm leaning too far over the bars, that if I were to have to brake real sudden or something, I'd go over the bars, because I'm already in a head down, butt up, head down position, it feels like, and feels like it would just be real easy to go over the bars. So far the bike seems quiet. I haven't heard a whole lot of chain slap, which everybody said that these bikes were bad about chain slap. There was a bottom. Guess you heard that. Bottomed that fork. And that was just in a little ditch. But like I said, I feel like all my weight is on the front, on the handlebars. It's very uncomfortable. Not at all like any of my other bikes. It's a very, very different, very kind of strange feeling. I feel like the bars should be, now I'm riding with my fingertips on the grips, and that's where it feels like it should be. And when I put my palms down on the grips, I just feel like I'm all laid over. So morning. The seat feels hard. Not a lot of cushion there. It's not terrible, but it's hard. Morning. Morning. Yeah, with my fingertips just barely on the bars, I feel much more comfortable on this bike. but the seat definitely is going to have to be an upgrade. And this needs, those bars need to come up to a more upright position for me. There may be a lot of people that like to ride all hunched over like a road racer, but not me. All right.
Hey boys and girls, I'm going to go ahead and speed this up just a little bit so that y'all don't have to watch me spend an hour watching me ride around the lake. Let's go ahead and talk about my first impressions of the Axum DP. No joking about it, it is probably out of the box the most uncomfortable bike I have ever ridden in my life. The riding position is awful. It felt like I was in a position hunkered over the bars. It felt like I was doing push-ups. Imagine yourself doing push-ups. You know how the pressure that puts on your arms, your elbows, and your shoulders. That's how it felt riding this thing the whole time. It felt like my rear end was stuck up in the air, and my head, in order to reach the handlebars, my head was down. Felt like if I ran into a bump or a hole or something, that I was halfway over the bars already. So it felt like it wouldn't take much to put me the rest of the way over the bars. I don't know what else to say. Most of the reviews that I have read on the Axum, or most of the YouTube videos even, are of people who say, the Axum comes the closest of any of the big box bikes to being like a bike shop bike, an entry-level bike shop bike. Oh man, all I can say is I hope they're better than that, because I did not enjoy my ride because of the position. It was all because of the position and the riding position. Okay, let's talk about the front fork. The front fork was extremely smooth for a Walmart big box bike fork. It felt really good. I will have to say that. I give them kudos, give Schwinn kudos for that fork, because it felt really nice. Now, the one thing, it's one shortcoming, I think, well, first of all, it's a coil fork. That's a shortcoming, but it was extremely smooth. The other shortcoming is that it has a lockout on it, and it's kind of different than any other lockout I've ever seen. Instead of, it's a quarter turn, but it's like a switch almost, because it's not a variable quarter turn to the lockout. It is you start and you move it and it clicks like a light switch almost, and that's how you know it's locked out, is when it clicks. And when it's locked out, it still has probably 3/8 of an inch of normal fork travel, and then it hits a wall, and that makes for a very uncomfortable ride when the fork is locked, because you still have this little bit of travel that is all of a sudden clipped short with it's like getting hit with a hammer, if you know what I mean. The seat, let's talk about the seat a little bit. The seat was very hard, has very little padding, and is not very comfortable. But at the same time, it's not extremely uncomfortable. It's something that I would definitely upgrade. I don't even like the looks of it. I mean, it's just ugly to me. and it's not comfortable. It's not real comfortable either, but it's not super bad. I mean, you could, if you didn't mind the looks of it, it would be okay, I guess, for a while. That was a 5-mile ride around the lake, and it didn't bother me, to ride on it. It just was very hard. Okay, the dropper post. The dropper post worked very well and is a welcome addition to a big box Walmart bike. I don't know what else to say. It really worked well, and it was a pleasure. It was a pleasure to operate. I like the lever. I like everything about it. Next, mechanical disc brakes. They work well. Can't knock them, but at the same time, I really would love to see them on a higher end big box bike offer hydraulic brakes. It wouldn't cost that much more, and it would be a welcome addition. Okay, the axe derailleur. It worked well, but I'm not a fan of the shifter with its window and pointer. It's kind of useless, in my opinion, since there is no markings on the scale to tell you what gear you're in. So, you look at the pointer, and the pointer is pointing toward the E in 8-speed. So you're somewhere in the middle. But as far as knowing where you're at, there's nothing there to tell you. So I think it's kind of pointless. It restricts how you can move the shifter to make it more comfortable for your fingers and your thumb, because it has to tuck in around the bar. And it gets in the brake. It and the brake lever have to interact with each other, and they're not. I mean, they're separate pieces, but because of that window, you don't have as much flexibility how to position things. So that's an issue. I'm not a fan of the single lock-on grips that Schwinn sends with these bikes. They're okay. I mean, if they don't bother you, I wouldn't worry about it. But I like a double lock-on with aluminum ends on them, or clamps. That's just a personal preference. As I get near the end of my ride, I'm going to return this video back to normal speed, and also so you can hear my final thoughts on the Axum, and also because I had noticed that the similarities between the Axum and the Boundary, the frames are really close to each other. I mean, and I think the Axum has like 1 inch more reach than the Boundary, but they're really close to each other. And because I had noticed those similarities, I brought my Boundary along on this ride so that I could compare them. And it's quite interesting to see my reaction to the ride of the Boundary compared to the Axum. So make sure you stay tuned to the end to watch that. As always, thanks for watching Man's Adventures.
And no, I don't recommend people ride with no hands, but I enjoy it every once in a while, especially on this bike, because it means I get to sit up straight, rest my back and my arms and my shoulders. Through the tunnel. Okay, so final thoughts before I get back to the truck. Definitely needs different bars. And to be perfectly honest with you, I find my heels clipping when I come up on the backstroke on the pedals, clipping the chainstay. Which is a weird thing. I'm wondering if it's because of the wider wheels and the spacing on the back end. I don't know, it's only happened a couple times, but that's a couple times more than I like. Now, I have had it happen on the boundary because I've got a chainstay protector on there, and there have been times when I've snapped that chainstay protector. I'll get it out in a minute. The seat is hard. It hasn't hurt me, but it's hard. It's just not real comfortable. So, because I noticed similarities in the frames of the Axum and the Boundary, I brought my Boundary with me today, and I'm gonna take it for a ride in comparison. I'm on the Boundary now, and I'm gonna, oh my God, what a difference. What a difference. Guys, this is like night and day. I can't even begin to tell you. And as far as I can tell, riser bars are the only difference. Now, there is like a 1 inch, I think, difference in the reach between these two bikes, but I'm more upright, comfortable.